Summer heat can make even a healthy garden look tired. But before you start replacing plants, there are a few simple things that can help them get through the worst of it. Number 1, water deeply, not just often. When summer heat rolls in, it is easy to reach for the hose every day, but a light sprinkle only wets the top inch of soil. That's where roots stay shallow and plants wilt faster. Instead, aim for a slow, steady soak that reaches 12 to 15 inches down, right into the zone where roots can find moisture even on the hottest afternoon. Field trials from Nebraska and Kansas State show that deep watering like this boosts soil moisture by 30% and cuts wilting episodes nearly in half compared to quick daily sprays. To check your depth, push a wooden dowel or long screwdriver into the soil after watering. If it slides in easily to a foot or more, you have hit the mark. The exact timing will depend on your soil and weather, but the goal is always the same. Encourage roots to grow down, not out. Give the soil a real drink, then let the top dry before watering again, and your plants will stand up to summer with far less stress. In second place, watering early in the morning gives your garden a real head start against the heat. Before the sun climbs high, the air is cooler and evaporation rates are at their lowest. Studies show that watering at dawn can deliver up to 50% more usable water to the roots compared to a midday soak. When you water before the day warms up, more moisture reaches deep into the soil, where plants need it most, and less is lost to the air. In humid climates, this timing also shortens the period that leaves stay wet, which helps cut down the risk of fungal diseases that thrive on damp foliage. For most gardens, there is no need to stick to an exact minute. Just aim for before the sun gets strong, usually any time before 9 in the morning. Whether you are in a dry zone or a muggy one, morning watering helps your plants take up what they need and face the day with less stress. The simple habit of watering at dawn is one of the most effective ways to stretch every drop and keep your garden healthier all summer long. Number 3, mulch acts like a protective blanket for your garden soil in the summer heat. A simple 2 to 3 inch layer of wood chips, straw, or compost can drop the soil temperature by as much as 10 degrees Fahrenheit on a blazing afternoon. That cooler surface slows down evaporation, holds in the water you've already added, and helps keep roots from baking near the top. Studies from university extension trials show that even a modest layer of organic mulch can cut water loss by up to 60% compared to bare ground, and it also helps prevent the hard crust that forms after repeated watering. Both organic options, like bark, straw, or compost, and inorganic choices, such as landscape fabric, have their place, but organic mulches add nutrients and improve soil structure over time. When spreading mulch, always leave a small gap around stems and tree trunks. Piling mulch right against the bark can trap moisture and invite rot. The goal is a loose, even layer that shades the soil, conserves moisture, and keeps your garden looking tidy. With mulch in place, every drop of water goes further, and your plants get a cooler, more stable home through the hottest days. Number 4, give new plants extra care when the heat rolls in. I still remember the first summer I planted phlox along the fence. Those little starts looked perky in the morning, but by late afternoon they would wilt and droop, no matter how much I wanted to believe they were tough. Every evening for the first 2 weeks, I would walk out with a watering can and a patio umbrella, shading the row until the sun dipped low. That small routine made all the difference. They perked up by nightfall, and most survived the worst of July. New plants are especially vulnerable because their roots have not reached deep, cool soil yet. For the first few weeks, they rely on a shallow root system that dries out fast in the heat. A quick surface sprinkle will not cut it. Water slowly so the moisture goes down where roots are growing, but do not overdo it because soggy surface soil can suffocate those tender roots. Instead, check the soil in the evening and watch for signs of stress. Temporary shade, like a garden umbrella or even an old sheet, can spare seedlings from the harshest sun. The key is consistency, a little attention each night, a bit of shade during the hottest hours, and patience while roots settle in. With this kind of care, new plantings stand a much better chance of making it through their first summer. Number 5, temporary shade can be a lifesaver when the forecast calls for a heat wave. Even a few hours of blazing sun can push leaf temperatures well beyond what most garden plants can handle, and a simple shade cloth or an old sheet stretched over poles can drop those canopy temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. For most vegetables and seedlings, a 30% mesh shade cloth is enough to filter the harshest rays without cutting light too much. If you are protecting shrubs or potted fruit trees, bumping up to 60% mesh is safe for a few days during extreme heat. The key is to put shade in place about a day before the hottest weather hits, and to remove it once the heat wave passes, so plants get all the sunlight they need for healthy growth. Patio umbrellas, pop-up canopies, and even a lightweight curtain draped over a trellis can all work in a pinch. Just make sure everything is anchored securely. Wind can turn a loose cloth into a parachute. For small beds or containers, even a beach umbrella angled over the plants can make a world of difference. The main thing to remember is that shade is a temporary fix for the worst heat, not a permanent change. Give your plants a break during those peak hours, then let them soak up the sun when it is safe again. Number 6, container plants need extra help when the summer sun is relentless. I'll never forget the year I nearly lost a whole tray of basil seedlings on my back porch. The forecast called for 99 degrees, so I slid every pot under the eaves and tucked each one inside a second, larger, pale-colored container. By late afternoon, those seedlings still looked tired, but the roots were cool to the touch, and every last one bounced back by nightfall. Pots and planters heat up and dry out far faster than garden beds. Research shows container soil can lose moisture twice as quickly, especially when the sun beats down on dark or small pots. That is why it pays to move containers out of harsh afternoon sun, double pot them for insulation, or cluster them in the shade of a tree or umbrella. Light-colored pots reflect heat, and larger containers hold moisture longer, giving roots a fighting chance. The main thing is to check your pots daily during heat waves. Do not wait for leaves to wilt. With a little rearranging and a watchful eye, even the thirstiest container plants can weather the hottest stretch of summer. Number 7, when the garden is already under heat stress, it is time to hold back on heavy pruning and fertilizing. During a hot spell, every snip and every dose of fertilizer asks your plants to grow new shoots and leaves, exactly when they are struggling just to keep what they have alive. Fresh growth triggered by pruning is especially thirsty, drawing water that roots may not be able to supply when the soil is hot and dry. High nitrogen fertilizers can make things worse, pulling moisture out of already stressed roots and sometimes even causing fertilizer burn, where salts build up and scorch delicate tissue. Instead of reaching for the shears or the fertilizer bag, focus on gentle tidying, removing only dead or damaged leaves that could attract pests or disease. Let your plants put their energy into recovery, not regrowth. The main takeaway: when the heat is on, less is more. Wait until cooler weather returns before doing any major cuts or feeding, and your garden will thank you for the patience. Number 8. It's important to know the difference between a plant that's just stressed by heat and one that's truly past saving. On a blazing afternoon, it's common to see tomatoes or hydrangeas droop and look downright miserable. but that doesn't always mean disaster. Many plants wilt during the hottest hours as a way to conserve moisture, only to perk up again once the sun drops and the temperatures cool. Before reacting, try the finger or soil probe test. Push your finger or a wooden dowel a few inches into the soil. If the soil is still moist, the wilt is likely temporary and your plant is just riding out the heat. The real test comes in the evening. If the leaves recover their shape overnight, the plant is still in the game. But if you find crisp, brown leaves that stay dry and brittle, or stems that snap instead of bending, that's a sign of permanent damage. For woody plants, a gentle scratch on the bark should reveal green tissue underneath if the stem is alive. If it's dry and brown all the way through, that part is gone. The key is patience. Wait until evening, check for signs of recovery, and only water or prune if your checks show it's needed. This calm, step-by-step approach keeps you from panic watering or tossing plants that just need a little time to bounce back. Across all 8 strategies, one truth stands out. Real garden care in summer heat means paying attention and responding, not following rigid rules. Every garden and season is different. When you work with your plants and conditions, confidence grows right along with your garden. Thanks for joining me. Happy gardening!